Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery with the purchase of any smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2, OTB 104.5, ESPN, Baton Rouge. Over the last couple of days, maybe really last couple of weeks, we have given you the OTB top 25. Now, there's an AP poll. There's a coaches poll. Those are out there, but do they really matter?
No. They're awful. They're terrible.
If you're trying to figure out who the 25 best teams in college football are, well, we're going to give it to you here on the OTB Top 25. Let's give a quick recap. 25, Boise State. At 24, Memphis. At 23, Baylor. 22, Georgia Tech. 21, Tennessee. 20, Iowa State. 19, Texas A&M. 18, Indiana, 17, Ole Miss, 16, Florida, 15, Texas Tech, at number 14, SMU. And we'll throw it to Alondra Blank Space Villarreal for the number 13 team in the country.
The number 13 team in the country, according to the OTB Top 25 poll. We're going to do it in the Big 12. At number 13 is Arizona State.
Hey! Let's go Sun Devils. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go Sun Devils.
So I know that they're returning a lot of their starters. About 79% of their team from last year is coming back this year. You know, when the Big 12 came out of nowhere and kind of just made a name for themselves. Yeah, they made a name for themselves, obviously headed up by Cam Scadaboo.
Let's go Scat.
They lose Cam this season, and obviously that's a big hit. They have Sam Levitt still, who is now in the top 10 to win the projected to win the Heisman. It's tied with Gunnar Stockton and one other person. I can't remember who. But they have Kyson Brown at running back to fit that, or to replace Cam Scadaboo. They also get Army transfer Kanye Udo.
Yep.
Junior. So
1,000-yard rusher last year for
Kanye.
Army.
Yeah, shout out Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyson Brown got some minutes last season too, and
they have 3 guys named Brown, last name Brown.
Yeah.
At the running back position. I bet that doesn't get confusing at all.
Raleek Brown is the other one. So they do miss Cam Scadaboo. That's going to be a big hit that they take. But I'm looking at their schedule. So we were talking about this yesterday. I don't remember if it was on air or off air, but, you know, Matt was talking about how you're trying to predict how they're going to end the season. And I just find Arizona State on the outside looking in first went out for the college football playoff this season. I'm looking at their schedule, and it's pretty favorable. They start off at Arizona State versus Northern Arizona, and then they play Mississippi State, Texas State, but then they got Baylor at Baylor on September 20th, host TCU at Utah, and then they host Texas Tech, Houston, at Iowa State, host West Virginia, at Colorado, and then they close off the season versus Arizona at home as well. And we got a few of these in our top 25. So we got Texas Tech up there. We got Baylor. And I just think that, the schedule is going to be where they're going to have a little bit of challenges, especially with Texas Tech and Baylor.
Yeah, Big 12's got a lot of chaotic energy surrounding it in a good way. It's going to be week to week, it's going to be very difficult to win games there.
Yeah, so that's who I got at 13. Arizona State. I felt like it was going to be maybe unpopular in this room, but I don't know.
I think Arizona State's a good football team. I think Arizona State, like you said, returns a ton of production. They've got Sam Leavitt. They've got Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson missed, obviously, the run last year, was out of that quarterfinal game against Texas, a double overtime loss. They were a play away. If they stop them on that fourth down, they win the game, and that was without their best receiver. So Cam Scadaboo certainly was the engine on that team. I understand that. But if there's one position that you can replace quickly, it is the running back position. That's why we always say it. Young guys, freshmen can come in. There's not a lot of thinking when it comes to that position in today's college football because you don't have a lot of pass protection responsibilities anymore. There's no cross-scanning key protections anymore. It's like you'll check will linebacker and get out. You'll free release and get out. You'll check maybe will free safety and get out. So they've got a couple of running backs that I think it's going to be by committee for sure. They're not going to replace Cam Scadaboo with one player. You could get a 1,000-yard rusher from Army. That is great, but he is, coming from Army, pass protection, probably had 3 of those all year long a year ago. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. But for Arizona State as a program, think about where they were for the last 2 years. Kenny Dillingham, I think, is one of the best young coaches in college football. Think of what he did with Bo Nix, by the way, coming from Auburn to Oregon.
Yeah.
But they had 70-plus players each, the last 2 seasons through the portal or high school, 70 new players. You take a look this year, and it's not. This year was all about retaining the players they had that had them in a quarterfinal situation, one play away from a semifinal. So Kenny Dillingham said, this year, we spent our money retaining our guys because now we've built the foundation. We don't have to do a deep dive like we have one of the leaders in the portal over the last couple of years. We can dabble in the portal. We can go get players, which they certainly have. They bring in a running back. They bring in a center. They bring in 3 receivers. But now they feel like their program's at a place where it's about keeping the guys that you brought there, building that foundation, building new buildings. They're getting an indoor facility. They don't have one of those. Arizona State's facilities aren't the best. That's where I worked out for the combine. I can tell you it's not. Now, the city's great. The weather's great that time of the year, but they want to start to build the foundation of the program. Kenny Dillingham is from Tempe, went to Arizona State. He's the perfect coach for the Sun Devils. I like them.
They were certainly we're getting, a little Big 12 happy here, and I like it because we're excited about this Big 12 conference, the chaos that it could potentially have. All of these people, we're saying 7, 6, 7, 8 teams with a legit shot at maybe bringing home a Big 12 title. I like this pick. It's kind of going to be, where is the rest of this crew? Where are we going to fit Kansas State in? Are we just going to kick them out? Are we going to put them in the top 10 or close to that 10 range? What are we going to do with our next couple of picks? Because that's a big decision
You got
to make.
number 11 coming your way there, Bo.
But here's my thing is, look, Arizona State last year caught lightning in a bottle. You just said it. Cam Scadaboo was the engine. But I'll make the argument that he was the engine, he was the fuel, he was the tires, he was the driver, he was
rally.
He was everything.
He did rally in that game.
And so I think there is going to be an emotional, physical chasm right there that is going to be hard to fill.
Mm-hmm.
I to play a little bit of contrarian, I think they have a little setback this year.
Because
I just think he meant so much. I watched the game.
Right.
It was like everything.
And that's why I put them at 13 because, we got the 12-team playoff. And I'm like, okay, I just feel like this season they're going to find themselves on the outside looking in because they're missing that huge piece of, like you said, the emotional aspect of it. Like, that's bigger than, it's not bigger than, like, the skill, but it's bigger than what people think it is. Like, having that engine, the fuel, the everything is going to be a big hit on Arizona State. Now, I do still think that they stay in the game and they 13 is still a good spot to be at, but I do think that it's going to be a big hit. And like you said, I'm meant to say, but like, it was kind of like catching lightning in a bottle. And it didn't, like, at the end of the season is when they really started to pick it up. So I just think that they find themselves on the outside looking in this season.
Yeah, like if Cam Scatterby was back, they'd probably be in the top 7 for me. I think 13 is a perfect spot for them because they're missing that. You go get somebody who's run for 1,000 yards on a 10-win team a year ago.
Yeah.
Let's see how he translates from the service academy and the option and to, Now, I will say this about Arizona State's run game. When you turn it on, it's not inside zone. It's inside zone. It's outside zone. It's counter. It's power. It's trap. It's
Statue
ISO.
of Liberty.
It is everything. Like when you look at their run chart, it's distinguished. Okay, like it has got every run available. That's what made them unpredictable. So they've got to find ways to integrate these 3 new running backs into their system, not fall into tendencies because it's going to take 3 people to replace Cam Scatterby. You don't replace the meathead player of the year with one guy.
No.
What is Scatterby going to be considered? A stump back?
Yep. What do you play? Stump. Just stump. We don't even need.
That's it.
Don't need the back part of it. Stump.
I don't need to put labels on
Actually,
it.
I really like stump. I think the person might have thought that was going to be some shade, but I love it.
You love it.
Stump.
I just thought that y'all were going to think that it might have been too low, but that was the only reason why I thought it was going to be.
Oh, you thought we'd have like an 11 or something?
Well, I don't know. I just thought maybe y'all,
Wait,
Taylor. I want to hear what Taylor's going to say.
I
thought that y'all. Yeah, I thought that y'all would have had them ranked a little higher than I would have.
Higher is like higher number or better?
No,
better.
Higher
Like
means like
top
you
10.
have
I'm
them
trying
like
to figure
10.
that one out. Yep.
Like top
Got it.
10. I meant like I thought y'all think they're worthy of
How'd
like
you
a top
graduate
10.
college?
Well, I mean, like
I think Tay-Tay's going to give a.
No, I
With
think
honors,
this is
too, probably.
a terrible pick. I don't really know what position. I'm kidding. I told her I was going to do that before the show, guys. I think this is right. If you would have
That
picked
feels
him
right.
at 13, I probably would have picked him at 12
And if
on
you would have
Monday.
picked him at 12, I probably would have put him at 10 when I got him.
I
He's
can
11.
see this team
right?
going 9-3. I'm with you. I think it's a slight step back, but 9-3 is about 13 or 14th ranked team in the country, probably. I think Cam Scatterby is a big loss, but remember, Sam Leavitt, first-year starting quarterback a year ago.
Yeah.
He's back. He was really good.
Freshman,
And people want to talk about weapons back. You got Jordan Tyson, who's one of the best receivers in the country. Jordan Tyson did not play in their playoff run last year due to an injury. So, that's actually a weapon back that they did not have at the end of the year when they were playing so well. So that's kind of an added weapon that they didn't have. So I think this is a good pick. Plus, I trust Kenny Dillingham. I get it.
Yeah.
Cam Scatterby was emotional. He was the leader of that team, but Kenny Dillingham's kind of that guy also. So I think they'll be fine. I think there's a little step back, but I can see 9-3, 13-14 for me would have been fine.
And I know that they're ranked above them in our OTB preseason poll, but I just feel like Texas Tech is going to be the standout of the Big 12 this season.
CBS Sports picked them to win the Big 12
Really?
yesterday. Yeah.
Look at me.
did they?
Yeah.
Were they listening to this show?
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, ooh.
Probably, because in the AP, they're 23.
This is a
You gotta
tricky
be-
doing this
Get
top
your
25 because in my
tortillas.
head I'm like Texas Tech's going to be they're gonna win those tough games.
Yeah.
They're going to split with Kansas State and Arizona State.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super tricky. I'd like to see Texas Tech win it.
That's why I like the blind ranking aspect of this.
I do too.
I'm so excited for the Big 12 because
You're going to leave some teams off.
Yeah.
I
don't think any of us are going to pick
I don't
Michigan.
think we're going to pick Michigan.
I
They're gonna be
do
left
think
off.
that the Big 12 is going to be the much higher quality version of the MAC, of MACtion this year. I think it's going to be nuts. I think it's going to be insane. I think there's going to be crazy games, wild plays happening at the end to win big games that are meaningful in that race for the Big 12 championship. I think it's going to be wild.
Yeah, I do too. Can't wait. Can't wait to see how it plays out. It was great last year. I think it's going to be even better this year. And I don't think it's going to be, bad football teams trying to see who's going to win. I think it's going to be good football teams fighting towards the top.
Yeah.
Now, they might only get one playoff team because of it, only the champion, because you're going to have 3 losses because everybody's going to beat up on everybody. But I think it's going to be high-level football. All right. So when we come back yesterday, and we'll get into our LSU discussion, yesterday I put out a poll that had over 600 votes. The position group that LSU's fan base thinks has to raise their level of play for LSU to be successful this fall. We'll tell you which group got picked. We'll break down that group, and we'll do it when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to gcopnet.com. That is a website for Gulf Coast office products. So if you are looking for the standard in Louisiana and you've got a law firm, engineering firm, universities, banks, hospitals, medical services, so many big businesses that they can help out with because, look, you have to print documents. You have to have the ability to know that when you press the print button, right, everything's going to work like it's supposed to be working because obviously time is going to be very important in all the things that we just listed out there, right? So Louisiana's trusted source, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Lafayette. Go to the website today to see what they can do for you, gcopnet.com.
Yeah, Louisiana's leading copier and printer source, proud partners of LSU Tigers, the Saints, the Pelicans, you name it. They are very trusted, and they are a big company, but they act like a small local company. They will help you out, gcopnet.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
This is a good one.
You know what day it is. It's Funky Friday.
It's what Friday?
Funky Friday.
Ah, okay.
God, dude, relax. It's a family show.
From 7 to 8, it sure is. 8:19, ball.
8:19. Kids are already dropped off.
All right. Yesterday, I put out a poll. Which position group must elevate its play the most for LSU to succeed this fall? You had 4 options: defensive backs, running backs, offensive line, defensive line. It had 611 votes. Which one do we think, Matthew, won the vote?
I believe on the vote, I believe it'd be offensive line.
All right. Alondra?
O-line.
Tay-Tay?
I've seen it, so I know the answer.
Boo.
Giving out the secret.
I was honest about it.
I think it's O-line, and then in second, defensive back.
So I voted on that poll,
I did
and
too.
I took it too literal because you said raise your level of play, meaning raise your level of play from a year ago or exceed expectations.
I said elevate.
Because if you want elevate your play from a year ago, it's a defensive back all day long. Because offensive line was actually good last year.
No, I don't live in the past. I didn't put last year. I'm just talking about elevate their play from where they currently are right now.
Oh.
Offensive line.
All right. I misread the question then. Nobody really knows how they're doing right now, except for the coaches.
Yeah. Been out to a couple times.
Yeah, well.
It's the offensive line, guys.
It's the offensive line. I would say
here's the vote real quick. Defensive backs, 21.8% of the vote. Running backs, which I was a little surprised, 4.1% of the vote. There's some concerns behind Caden Durham at running back.
I think that's the thing, though. I think everybody's so high on Caden.
Caden's a very tough young man, played through a pretty painful injury last year, but still, behind him, there's 2 scholarship guys. So that's a little surprised he only got 4.1% of the vote. Defensive line got 11.9% of the vote. I think that tells you just how well Kyle Williams has done with these defensive tackles in a short period of time, because you felt good about the edge rushers already. It was the defensive tackles. So That's actually a pretty good sign. Offensive line, 62.2% of the vote.
It should be the only position you have a big question mark about right now. Like, I haven't been to practice this week. Unless something has drastically changed, the DBs are actually pretty good. Yeah. At least you have a healthy rotation. Like, O-line right now is a concern for me.
Look, the vote comes off of the unknown for the offensive line. That's what the vote is. It's not like how it's worded or whatever. It's like, what's the biggest concern for you? Because it's the biggest unknown, and that's offensive line. Like, defensive backs. Is it an unknown because we haven't really seen the new people play? Yes, that's a big unknown. But it's easier to watch and judge defensive back play in training camp than it is offensive line. Like, it's hard to just sit there and judge how an offensive line
without watching the film.
Without watching the film, like, it's hard to see it from the view, like a field level view. It's hard to really see who's actually playing well. I mean, you can see who's physically dominant in like one-on-ones and half line, things like that. But you really don't know who's like nailing their assignments. Like, we watched that clip of the Saints the other day. Everybody did their assignment except for
Cesar Ruiz.
And it wasn't a physical thing. It was a mental thing. Yep. Those are the types of mistakes that you can't see from a field level just watching it one time when you're going to evaluate practice. But you can certainly evaluate a DB that's flying around, batting down balls, covering people up, making the right run fits, intercept a pass. That's easy to see. So I think with the reports coming out from training camp, there's not as big of an unknown. I think everybody's pretty common consensus that we are so much more improved from last year. Now, the offensive line, we don't know because we don't know. Like you don't know what you don't know, and that's what we will find out. But we're not going to find out as a fan base or as media. We're not going to find out till game one.
That's actually a really good point by you, and I don't say that very often. It is a really good point by you because you're right about, like, that is a position where you do have to get the end zone copy.
Yep.
I want to see, like, is it angles? Is it assignment? Because when we broke down Cesar Ruiz missing it, like, initially I was like, man, what was he doing with, like, there was no kick step, and there wasn't, but it was because of a mental error. It wasn't just like that's his technique.
Eyes were wrong. His eyes were wrong.
His eyes were in the wrong place. Everybody else was doing the right thing. Great job by the running back. Incredible job by the center coming back and helping clean up. It was the right guard. He was looking in the wrong place. Then his footwork turned to trash, and he messed up. Those are the things that you're talking about. And right now, it's tough to. Is it physically? Is it mentally? Is it both? Yep. Like, those are the things on the offensive line that you got to go. You got to watch the end zone copy of it. If you're watching one-on-ones and you're giving a practice report based off that, you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you from experience, because one-on-ones for receivers versus DBs, that's a receiver drill. For D-line versus O-line, it's a D-line drill. For backers versus running backs, that's a linebacker drill. Now, like, routes on air, backs on backers, that's a running back drill. Like, it's pretty easy for me to win one-on-one with the backer. Routes on, one-on-one routes.
Yep.
But for pass protection, because it's not game-like, he's going to have a little bit of advantage. I would say 65-35. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're basing it off, like, the one-on-one drills that they do in camp, I'm not saying they're not important.
They're very important. They're extremely important.
But you can't base how the group is playing together based off that.
Yep.
Like, the offensive line, I do think it needs to trend in a different direction. Now, the surprise has been, like, it's the tackles on the days that I've gone that have played really well.
Yep.
It's the interior guys where you actually have some guys that have played that are struggling a little bit right now. Center position's doing pretty good. But don't base your kind of viewpoint on the offensive line based off one-on-ones.
Well, it's a lot of new guys rotating in, and a lot of the issues you see, especially early in camp, are normal with new positions and new personnel of the offensive line, because most of it, like we just laid out, is mental. It's their eyes were wrong. They misread. They made a bad mic call. They made a bad kick step because they were looking at the wrong thing. They had the wrong cues or the wrong keys that they were looking at the defense on. And the center and the guard positions is a little bit more, because there's a lot more passing off interior than there is for the tackles. We always kind of, like, a coach always laid out, like, the center has the football. The closer you are to the ball, the more mental the game is. Like, the more higher football IQ you have to have. And that's anything. The farther away you are from the ball, the less football IQ you really have to have, because Like, so the guard and center and the quarterback are the closest to the ball. Those are the guys that have to have the highest football IQ. They have to do the most mentally, the most tackles, a little bit less because it's a lot more one-on-one. Now, of course, everybody has to have a high football IQ, but it's just a little bit more the closer you get to the ball. So, it makes sense to me that, like, if we get in a team drill or 2-minute drill, that there's going to be sacks, and it's like, oh, my God, this guy just got beat. Well, why did he get beat? Yeah. Why did he make a wrong step because he was looking strong side and he should have been looking weak side? Was it a bad mic call? Like a lot of those things work out, and you flush those things out, and the line gets better and better mentally, and the more comfortable they are within the system, working together, making those reads, cutting out mental mistakes, mental errors, slow decisions, and they just start pulling the trigger and working together. I would see this offensive line getting better and better and better.
Real quick, because I know we got our guy, the General, Bobby Carpenter, joining us. Someone was asking, why is one-on-ones a defensive drill? Because it's not realistic. So if I'm a left guard and I've got a 3 technique, so I've got a defensive tackle outside shade of me, all right, and we're doing one-on-ones, okay, he's got so much more room to work with than he actually would in a game. And we always talk about this, like at guard, I've got 2 body guards. I've got a tackle and I've got a center next to me, and it is a phone booth. But when you're doing one-on-ones, I mean, look, he can go all the way up the field around you, where in a game he's running into a tackle. There's just a lot more space. And so the offensive line, like working together in unison, that's why it's so important. Because, like, it's just the same thing we talk about in punt protection all the time. Like, use your guard, use your tackle, use your guys next to you, right, for that spacing. Close the space, make it a tight space. And so, like, a center in one-on-ones, like, he's never going to have
on an
4
island,
feet
right?
on each side on an island. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, it will sometimes, but like
very rarely. If a defense does something where they're trying to attack a center, and you might have 2 guys that go to the outside right now, and you send like a backer straight down the middle to try to have a better athlete on the center. Like, that happens, but very rarely. Same thing, when it comes to pass protection, backs on backers. Same thing for me. Like, if I'm running routes against backers, I've got so much room. There's no offensive line there. I can kind of insert wherever and you go run a route. That linebacker, if he covers you, you're just a bad football player as a running back. Like, because there's more room than there ever would be before. So it's a great tool. It's a great asset.
Yeah. Because
it puts you in the most difficult situations, but it's not something you can base how a unit is going to play together off of.
And then, like, in pass rush, offensive line, let's just say tackles versus defense. When is the offensive lineman at a disadvantage in a game? When it's an obvious passing down situation. When the defensive end knows it's a pass, and all he's got to do is pin his ears back, make a move, swim him, bull him, whatever he wants to do. Well, in one-on-ones, it's like every time, it's like I'm rushing a quarterback like it's pass. So it's just, and it puts him in a very stressful situation. But it's great for the offensive lineman to learn and get their physical skill. Like that's, but you can't judge how a guy's playing in camp based on that.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the General, Bobby Carpenter, joins us. Sadly, not from the Ohio State training facility. He's driving, which probably means he's got to give a speech, because my man gives like 3 speeches per week. But he's going to give us a speech when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting. We always say it because it is true. Everything is always available. Per day rental prices. Check them out on their website. Also, remember, incredible prices. So when you go out the big box rental store and it's like, man, that costs that for a sedan, it's not going to be the case over at All Star. Like, they have the best prices out there. So if you are going on a trip this fall, if you're going to go watch the Tigers play, or if you're tailgating to Branson with Tay-Tay, you can go rent a Toyota from allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Yeah, speaking of Tay-Tay, if you need a place to pull or haul all your lawnmowers, you can get that there. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need, if you want to go fast, if you want to haul lawnmowers, if you need to carry 10 kids, whatever it is, whatever kind of car, give them a call. They can help you. Toyota's incredible cars and machines. Go visit them. allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
From From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All right, welcome back in OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It is now time to hear from our guy, the General, Bobby Carpenter. Big Ten Bob, who I'm sure is on the road to go give a speech to some touchdown club because Bobby is just the gift that keeps on giving. Bob, how we doing?
I'm doing great, Es. Thanks for having me on, sir. I'm not on the road to Touchdown Club. I actually got to visit my accountant. We're trying to get our extension wrapped up, talk about some stuff in 2025. It's a far shit. Holding some K1s in your hand, Hester, is far different than holding a dumbbell.
Yes, a lot have said that, Bobby. And
sometimes they can be just
Bobby,
as heavy, though.
You're like Flynn and I, too. Like, you're someone who's got like 27 different sources of income as well. You've got your own business as well. Shout out to the HVAC company up there in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm sure like that is not fun for you. Probably pretty stressful.
Yeah, that's the stuff that nobody loves to deal with. I mean, I'm a finance guy, but like that's why I'd rather outsource that, pay somebody to do the boring number stuff I don't want to do. But yeah, it's not near as much fun as talking ball and listening to a little Rick James to you guys.
It is Funky Friday.
Funky Friday.
That's Flynn. Flynn wanted a Funky Friday here, so only funk music.
I love it, man. That's perfect. The Super Freak is the best. R.I.P. to Rick James. Lost him 21 years ago, and that's far too long ago, man. It's been rough.
Oh, all right, Bob. I mean, we're getting closer. We are single digits away from Farmageddon there in Ireland. And, like, I want to get to week one with you, obviously, but I kind of feel like the appetizer is getting slept on. This is an appetizer game in week 0, Farmageddon. That is one of the reasons you go to the restaurant. I think Farmageddon is like an Outback. We got the bloomin' onion. We got the cheese fries. Like, we have reasons to go that's not just the main course.
Yeah, it's going to be a great appetizer, and it's a couple of ranked teams there. I think everybody's pretty excited about it. The intrigue of the Big 12, what that can be. And let's be honest, I heard a friend of mine who used to go on with James and Bo all the time. Bo Bishop described it like this, which I thought was very appropriate. Is it, like you said, it's not the main course, but it's a really good appetizer. And he goes, if you hadn't eaten all day and you get the happy hour, you're going to just devour that bloomin' onion because you're starving to death. It's like, we're starving for college football. So you know what? Like, on week 1 with Kansas State and Iowa State be like the first thing you're going to order? Probably not. But given you look at the slate and it's been 8 months since we played a college football game, everybody's all in on it, ready to go.
Bobby, is there a restaurant that has like your all-time favorite cheese fries ever? Like, because Outback has one of the most elite cheese fries that I've ever had. You got a local spot, a chain that you just good, fun cheese fry memory?
So I'm not a huge cheese fry guy.
You don't have a body like
That's
Bobby
true. It's too many
Carpenter
carbs.
and throw down
Not bad.
cheese fries.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest cheese fry guy. I like onion, bloomin' onion rings, stuff like that. Love some good chicken wings. If you can have any type of bacon you can incorporate into an appetizer, I'm always there for that as well. So like those are kind of the staples that I'll stick to. And whatever that little Mexican spot we went to in Baton Rouge last year,
Superior.
Great food there. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Hey, Bobby, we sent Bobby to Superior and Supper Club here in Baton Rouge whenever he covered the UCLA game. And Bobby, I believe you asked the waiter when he was pouring your water if that came straight from the Mississippi.
Of course, man. I always love to interact and just see where you filter it out. Maybe they didn't. They just bucket it up, man. I'm good either way.
You want to taste the local flair?
Yeah,
a little bit Mississippi River water. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, here's the thing, Hester. I get in the Ohio River, which that water eventually ends up down there by Baton Rouge. I mean, we're talking Mississippi River water coming right through there. So, all it's been has been filtered for a couple hundred more miles.
It's incredibly fair. Bobby and I once did a show. He was at his lake house, and I think we came up with a map that he could get in a boat and find his way basically to my house. Because you're on the Ohio River, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get from I say lake house, it's on a river. from there to me by getting in a boat, right?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't even need anything else, man. Get a little P-row boat, cruise on out there. It may take a couple days and a decent chunk of gas, but I mean, if all you've got is time, that's all you need.
Look, I just looked it up. Like, ChatGPT is amazing. I think I'm starting to get famous for only using ChatGPT when I'm on radio, but it just told me that it takes approximately 3 months for water to travel from Columbus, Ohio to Baton Rouge, Louisiana by way of Ohio River to Mississippi River. 3 months. So you don't even need to buy gas.
Yeah, and I do 3 months a long time. I mean, I might, I would rather go a little faster with the current. And by the way, Glenn, I'm going to start down at the tip of the Ohio River, so we'll knock like a week or two off that to begin with anyway.
Smart.
Bobby, you and I were talking about this the other day over on Meathead Radio, but Ohio State is going to host the number one team in the country, the first game of the year, but they're going to be a favorite. It is the first time that a preseason number one team in the AP poll will start the season as an underdog. So shouldn't we have just put the Buckeyes number one, the old Ric Flair, to be the man? You got to beat the man and just let it play out that way?
What's interesting is that's what my son said. I have a sixth grade son. He goes, well, Ohio State's favored. Why aren't they number one? I go, well, there's voters, the coaches or the SIDs, and then there's the AP, which are the writers, and they put together their list of what they think it is. I go, and then you've got the people of, T-Bob, your former co-host, the gamblers, and what they think it's going to be. And the reality is, you start looking at the top 5, 16, even top 10. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty with all those squads. There's only 3 of them that are returning quarterbacks. And Texas and Ohio State are not one of those teams. They lost a lot of guys. I think each one of them had double-digit players drafted. So they're going to be far different teams than what we saw last year in the semifinal of the Cotton Bowl. And so because of that, I think you look at Ohio State's a 2.5-point favorite. I mean, guys, basically that's the home field advantage. So, I mean, it's more or less a pick-em of what you're getting. I mean, if you want to put Ohio State 1, that's fine. Texas 1, that's fine. Like, in the new 12-team era, all I got to be is in the top 12. So, that's all that matters to me. But the reality is, a lot of those teams, Penn State, they should have about Clemson, Notre Dame, LSU's up there, Alabama. We don't know about a lot of those teams.
Yeah, that we were talking about this the other day when the AP poll came out, and we're looking at it. We're like, okay, Texas is 1, Ohio State's 3. That means they must think Texas is going that first game. But the other one that stuck out to us is Penn State being number 2. So ranked above Ohio State, we're like, what does Ohio State have to do to have a preseason ranking number 1? And then what do you think of just the AP and the coach? Every year, Penn State is highly ranked. And we kind of made this comparison that Penn State's like the college version of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So every year, the love for Penn State, but they just have never been able to get it done. How do y'all feel, being an Ohio State guy living in Columbus, about every single year that kind of being the messaging?
What's interesting about Penn State is, with James Franklin, he can get a lot of grief, but they've never really been bad. And especially the last 5 years, what you're getting with James Franklin is win every game you're supposed to, probably lose each game to a ranked team. And, from that, then you get to you used to get to a bowl, now you're getting to the playoffs. I go, he's going to give you 10-2. I don't think this Penn State team is going to be any worse than 10-2. They play Ohio State and Oregon. The question is, can you split those? Can you go 11-1? Should you win them both? Should you be 12-0? They've got a returning quarterback. They got Singleton. They got Allen back. Yeah, granted, they lost Abdul Carter. Granted, they lost Ty Warren. They brought in 3 receivers from the portal. And so they're in a pretty good spot there. That was the one kind of issue they've had over the last handful of years is play calling too conservative down the field on the outside. We'll see what Andy Kolanecki does and what drew out. Is it the play calling? Is it the quarterback? It used to be, you could say the receivers before, but they appear to have that problem remedied. So now you start to ask yourself, is it the calling, or are they conservative because the quarterback can't throw it? Or does he just look out there, doesn't feel good, and then drops the check down? So that's what they're going to have to figure out. But they have as many returning starters as you're going to find. They were a good team last year. They were ill-advised interception away from potentially having a chance to play in the national championship. So they've got a lot coming back. with Drew Aller being a part of it. And I think having a returning starting quarterback as Clemson, Penn State, and Miami, or Clemson, Penn State, and LSU are the only teams in the top 10 that have it, like, that matters. That means something.
Bobby, give me a team out of the Big Ten that's not Ohio State, that's not Penn State, that's not Oregon, that has an opportunity, because we always talk about 4 teams in the Big Ten, making that run. We're not very high on Michigan here on this show. We're doing our own top 25, and I don't think Michigan is going to be included in the top 25. So who do you have as that 4 team maybe inserting themselves into the conversation of making a playoff?
Well, I think they went 10-3 last year, and you start talking about there's a lot of buzz around them. But Illinois, though, with what they've been able to do, they've got Luke Altmaier coming back, quarterback. Bielema has proven he can build teams. They're a tough team. They've lost some, but their schedule's pretty advantageous. They play Ohio State. I think they've got Indiana late, and we'll see how good Indiana is. They can repeat that success. We're trying to figure it out. I think they've got a chance to win 10. If they win 10, they have a good chance to get in the playoff. The team that's really interesting to me is the team that's unranked, and that's USC, because everything would tell you guys, and you're around my age, that USC always has the requisite talent. Like, how are they not better? And I guess that's the question. Like under Lincoln Riley, like since Caleb Williams' Heisman Trophy season, like how have they not been better? And that's something that maybe it happens this year, maybe it doesn't. But at some point in time, you feel like that should click, or else he's going to be awesome.
Did we lose Bobby?
You got me?
Oh, there we go. We lost you there for a second. I thought maybe the tax man got you.
No, I'm so good. Yeah, I feel like USC should be able to pick up. They should be there, but I don't know if it would be my 14 if they're taking me to it.
All right, there he is, our guy, the General, Bobby Carpenter, good enough to join us. Bobby, enjoy your Friday tax day. We'll catch up again with you very soon, sir, and I look forward to Wednesday's little Meathead Radio coming back on Channel 84 over on Sirius XM.
That'll be a good one, man. Enjoy it. I'll see you next Wednesday, Hess. And then Glenn AJ said hi, man. He was calling me this morning, and I told him I was coming on with you guys.
Oh, there we go.
Give him a heads up.
Sounds good. Get those extensions in, Bobby.
Absolutely. I love it, man.
When you tell Bob to get extensions in, like I know we're talking taxes because that's what he's doing, but probably he was thinking bicep extensions as well.
Sure.
Or tricep, tricep.
Got to extend all the way.
Getting those in. All right, we'll take a break. More OTB when we come back on the other side.
Off the bench.
All right, go to GoTommies.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommies with a Y.com. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. We will clearly see the difference. And you can see the difference right there on the homepage of the website. Check out a gallery of work. Check out testimonials of past clients. But always remember, if you've got a custom job in your mind, they can come out. They can do that as well. You see, if you're watching this on YouTube, Tay is going over the Angie Super Service Award. Back to back. Just keep on winning awards. Best windows in the Advocate this year, 2025 in Baton Rouge. Tommy's is the go-to team. GoTommies.com.
We talked about jersey numbers earlier. If there was a window company in Baton Rouge that would get number 18, it would be Tommy's. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Their lifetime warranty on their windows, so they will guarantee them if they install them for life. They work with integrity. They are dependable. Go see them. Give them a call or visit GoTommies.com.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
I did not have you as somebody that was 70s funk.
A beautiful
like,
sight to see.
I don't think I've ever knew this part of Matt Flynn.
I can
Even
see
her
it because
anatomy.
he's mentioned that he likes Motown before, so I can.
Now I
kinda
love
see it.
Motown.
Yeah.
I
I
think
could also see
Motown's
Flynn as a wedding
more
dancer.
soul to me than like.
Yeah.
Who does not like this song?
Flynn screams wedding dancer to me, and this is a wedding song. So.
You show me a person that doesn't
See-
like the song, I'll show you a liar.
See, the way like y'all set it up, I was thinking some different 70s songs. Like, it's been good today.
What were you thinking?
I don't want to throw any names out there. I was thinking
See,
different
is that-
70s. I was thinking more like disco. Like, this isn't disco
yeah,
to me.
no. I feel like the lines kind of blur
Yeah.
between like boogie, funk.
What a song. This got Friday vibes. I don't know what does.
It does.
When I think of funk, though, I do think of this. Like, this is
Yeah, for sure.
a good one.
This, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't think of like the Bee Gees.
That's what I was.
I did
think
do
that's
one Bee
kinda-
Gees song.
Like, that's
Yeah,
more
but,
what I
like,
was thinking
They
of.
got a couple.
Yeah,
I'm not a deep track Bee Gee guy.
I do like the Bee Gees though.
Yeah, no shade.
More than a woman.
It's not that I don't like it, but, I just didn't want disco all day long.
Yeah.
Sports.
Hell yeah.
We did talk a lot of sports,
Man, we've been very sporty. We've been real sport heavy the last couple of days.
even with Bobby.
Even on a Friday. That's not like us. We've changed.
Hour 3 next.
Oh, that's true.
We've changed.
We've changed.
I did reach out. So Ross Jackson's going to come on with us. I forgot to confirm the time, so I'm going to confirm that. Hopefully, let's see. Yep. Ross is going to come on when we come back. Oof.
I got Nick yesterday on Twitter throwing a lot of mixed messages out there.
No, I don't really
Was
know what
he?
to believe.
He said one message or one tweet said Rattler starting. That was it. That was the tweet.
Well, he's starting for that day, but I think Nick knew what he was
That's
doing.
actually a really good tweet.
Yeah,
That's a good
it was
tweet. if you
great.
want
Really
clicks.
good.
Well, he backtracked. He didn't stand his ground because I responded to him and I said, "Please explain." He said, "Oh, my bad. I should have said practice. Starting at practice."
Yeah, no, Nick knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he got you.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
You be falling
Saints
for
practicing with the Rams out there. So our guy Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net, going to get a little boots on the ground reporting. Excited about that.
Lots of sports. Hour number 3 on this Friday. Get ready. And get your fill of sports talk in. I got some Jordan Love news too.
All right.
it. That feels random.
Hour 3.
Next hour. It's a tease.
Off the bench.
Go to yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Bottom right corner of the website. Book your consultation today. There should be no reason to live life with fear or embarrassment. All right, because if you've got an issue right now, Goodwood's going to be able to help you out. So when you go to the website, find a full list of services. You can see the pricing options they have for you. But again, they are there for you. When you have that problem, they've got the answer. Go to the website today, yourgoodwood.com.
Yeah, check them out, man. We got these bodies. Things go wrong, especially as we age. Not everything just works the same way. So go see them. See their list of services. For as low as $125 a month, you can get set up on whether it's testosterone, so hormone replacement, sexual wellness, whatever it is. Man, go see them today. Embarrassment free. Yourgoodwood.com.